In this video, I'm going to share with you my 12 top tips for website design that are perfect for people just starting out building their first website all the way up to professional website designers. My name's Tyler Voland, and I've been a website designer now for 8 years, helping businesses get online smarter and more profitably. These tips are not in any particular order, but just to be annoying, I've put the best ones at the back so that you have to watch the whole video to get the most value. So let's get started. Use one font. If you really have to, put it up to 2 fonts, but don't go any higher. Unless you're a really professional website designer knowing what you're doing, if you're using more than 2 fonts on a website, and in most cases more than 1 font, then it's going to start to look messy. So just pick a single font. Great ones are Poppin, Open Sans, Helvetica. These are all just solid, easily readable fonts that anyone can use. Optimize your images. This is the single biggest reason that speed tests fail on the websites that I do audits on. And it's because I've got these huge files. Even 1 megabyte is way too big. Your maximum image size should be 500 KB and no more. Linking in with this is my next tip, which is all of your images should be JPEG or WebP files. This is because they give you the lowest load time on average compared to a PNG file. The only reason you should use a PNG file is if you need a transparent background, in which case you could also use an SVG. Go through your website, check what image types you're using, cut them back, and also make sure that your largest width size is no more than 1920 pixels. Keep your headings and paragraph text consistent in terms of style across every single page and every single section. You will be tempted when you're designing your website, especially if this is your first one, to increase the paragraph size because you think it's going to look a little bit better, maybe emphasize something. Don't do it. You'll end up with just this mess on your pages of different size fonts, different colors. Just keep it consistent and you'll end up with a much nicer result. Just like your fonts, use one highlight color and use that across your whole website. Whether this is a blue or green, it doesn't matter. Whatever your brand color is normally best. But you don't want to be mixing and matching colors unless you've got the experience to know what looks well and have a bit of background in color theory. Then if you don't, just stick with one color, it will make it look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner. Like with your fonts and your colors, choose a consistent call to action. This should be consistent in terms of style, so when someone's just flicking through and reading your website, it's obvious that this is where they can click to get in contact with you. But also keep it consistent in terms of the wording. If the main way that someone gets in contact with you is a call, then have it call now as your call to action. Or if you want them to fill out a quote form, then have it get my free quote as your call to action. But have that consistent throughout your website and you'll see your conversion rate increase. Dot points are your friends. They're the best way to get a lot of information across really quickly without just like a block of text. So the worst thing you can do is have a huge big text wall that someone's got to read to get the information they're looking for. They're not going to read it all. Time is important. Put it in a dot point and you'll save real estate on your website and make your customers' lives a lot easier. This might be a little bit obvious, but it's surprising how many websites still don't do this. But make your website mobile optimized. You need to look at your own website on a mobile phone, make sure that it looks good like that, because up to 75% of your traffic might be using a phone to access your website. If it looks odd, buttons aren't in the right place, that's the first impression that someone's going to get, and it's not going to be a good one. These next tips are my favorite, and this is where you're going to get the most bang for buck. An amazing feature that most website builders have is a sticky header bar. So this is where when you scroll down on your page, the header actually follows you and you've got your whole navigation there. So people can just scroll down to the bottom instead of having to scroll all the way back up to get to the next page that they want to go to. They can just click on the navigation bar because it's at the top of their screen. This tip is probably the biggest lesson that I had to learn the hard way with website design, and that is your homepage's top section above where people can see without scrolling down is by far the most important section of your website. And if it doesn't tell the person that they're in the right place and you can do what they need you to do in terms of the service or what you're selling, then you're going to lose that person really quick. So make sure you use that top section really well to get across the most important information. The things that I typically like to see above the fold on the home page is a really clear and concise heading, a little bit of paragraph text to explain what you do and why you're good at it, a call to action to send them straight to the action you want them to take, whether that's a call or a form fill out. And then also, if you can, some social proof. This can be in terms of how many reviews you've got, or if you've got brands that you work with, you can put like a banner across the bottom. Decide on the goal of your website before you ever click a mouse button. You need to know the specific action you want your ideal customer to take on your website before you start designing, because if you don't know that, then how can you design a website that's going to funnel them to take that action? You want to take away the decision paralysis, and you want to make it as easy as possible for example, get in contact with you, sell a specific product, or learn more about your business. The final tip is a super controversial one, but if you're just getting started, use a template. You're not an expert. You don't know what the best practices are. That's fine. There's people that have built templates that are designed specifically to function in your industry, to take the action that you want them to take. Just go and find one. It doesn't have to suit your design. You can change the colors and the texts and the font and all of those sorts of things. But the layout alone is going to be valuable to you, because often if these templates are built by a reputable company, then they know what they're doing. They know the general user experience flows, and you can just tweak it and adjust it to your brand. If you want more tips like this, like and subscribe.